Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on the NOFSRL channel, and we are here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting ready for another great weekend of racing here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. This time around for the Truist 500. It'll be the 10th ever race here at this great racetrack, and we're excited for this one. One of my favorite races to do every year, and it's going to be a wild one tomorrow at noon Eastern Time on AG Racing. But first, we got to set the starting lineup and determine which of these two hot seat drivers is going to be racing tomorrow. 8 drivers in the field, 5-minute session. Top 2 fastest times advance on and will attempt to qualify along with the other 40 full-time drivers here in pole qualifying for Atlanta. The drivers in the hot seats for this weekend include John Andrews once again in the number 2, Will Parrish in the 21, Dennis Stryker again. He raced in the Cup race last weekend at Phoenix and ended up finishing on the podium in that race. These uncharted guys, they're dangerous. Mitchell Collins in the 32, Landon Smith Jr. in the 52, Ian Siegel in the 55, Isaac Nicholls in the 76, Christian Vargas in the 80. And this is a wild track, let me tell you that. You're going to see the Turkey Hill National Series race coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on AG Racing. The racing in that is going to be completely different than what you're going to see tomorrow, but both races are going to be crazy. And this is a really fast mile-and-a-half racetrack as well. It'll play out a lot like a pack race. That's all I got to say. It's kind of how Atlanta is. It's like that 1 mile and a half that plays out that way. 55 machine Ian Siegel, first driver to clock in at time. There's the 76 machine of Isaac Nicholls. Of course, Nicholls has raced in this event before, so has John Andrews. And also Christian Vargas. So those 3 guys have all been full-time guys in this series before. Landon Smith Jr. is yet to qualify for a race yet this season. He'd love to race alongside his brother, Trey Smith, who runs full-time in the series in the number 92. There's the 52 machine, or should I say 32 machine of Mitchell Collins. And Isaac Nicholls, a bit of a draft there on Christian Vargas. Ahead of him, going to go to the top of the board. So right now, Nicholls and Siegel, the 2 fastest guys here in Atlanta qualifying. Now, Will Parrish going to second there in the number 21. Great run there for Will Parrish, looking for his first career Cup Series start. But John Andrews knows if he can get into this race, he's going to have another shot at his second win of the season here in the Cup Series. And you got to think, too, obviously, he's only run 1 race so far this season, but there is no rule saying that these guys are ineligible for the championship. So if they happen to attempt to qualify and they qualify every race, they're going to be part of that Chick-fil-A or of this NOFSRL Cup Series championship. So there's no reason for these guys to not go after it. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. But if John Andrews wins another race and he continues to streak on, he'll have a shot. But he's actually been in 2 races so far this season, 51 points on the season. But he's only 10 points behind last in points, Trey Smith. So, if John Andrews theoretically were to qualify in every race this season, he'd have a shot at the championship, no doubt about it. Ian Siegel is knocked out right now. It's Will Parrish and Isaac Nicholls, the top 2 guys. Of course, Siegel was faster earlier on. But Will Parrish and Isaac Nicholls. Now, Nicholls is a guy you got to watch out for. A lot like John Andrews, has run in the series full-time before, and actually has got 2 seasons of experience under his belt. Will Parrish, though, has never made a start before in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Looking to do so for the all-time winningest owner on Napa Fan, Derek Hamill. Right now, it looks like the times have fallen off, and that's what will happen here at Atlanta. That's what will happen in qualifying here in a moment. This is a very rough racetrack, and the tire wear is very significant here. That'll also come into play into the race tomorrow as well, so keep that in mind. But at this point, I do not see any of these guys improving their times, as it is a very rough racetrack, and already these tires have fallen off quite a bit since when they first got out there. So that would lead me to believe that it's going to be the 21 of Will Parrish and the 76 of Isaac Nicholls. Might be the first time that the 76 has... Actually, I don't know. Is it the first time? It looks like it is. I think it's the first time the 76 would have made a race. It's the first time the NS Black... Actually, no, I'm wrong. Ben Crouch qualified this car in. I don't know what I'm talking about. Uh-oh, look at that. John Andrews has knocked Nicholls off, so that 76 doesn't look like it will make it on. And I was completely wrong. Apparently, John Andrews saved up those tires, and he's now up to second. So it's John Andrews and Will Parrish, the 2 fastest guys here in Truist 500 Uncharted qualifying. That came out of nowhere. Got a bit of a draft from that 21 and pulled up to a pretty fast time. And Giant is looking to make his third start of the season. That's half of the races so far this season. This is going to be the 6th race of the season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. And John Andrews definitely en route to possibly getting his 2nd win. We'll have to see how well he qualifies later on here in pole qualifying. But John Andrews again, with another fast time in uncharted qualifying. I mean, John Andrews is a solid driver, no doubt about it. A bit of a shame he isn't full-time in the Cup Series. Maybe if he does good enough this year, which he already has done quite a good job in the Cup Series in the couple of starts he's made, he may end up with a full-time ride next year, if there's a next year. Not going to go into that right now. But top 2 fastest, we do not have a tie this week. It's Will Parrish and John Andrews advancing on to the Truist 500 here from Atlanta. They'll join the other 40 full-time drivers for pole qualifying here in the 6th race of the season in the NOFSRL Cup Series, season number 10. And here we go to set the starting lineup for the 6th race of the season. I almost forgot what race number it was. In season 10 of the NOFSRL Cup Series, Truist 500. Used to be the SunTrust 500, but SunTrust and BB&T decided to have a baby together, and they formed Truist Bank. Still technically the same sponsor as it has been since season number 8, but hey, at least it's not kids' colors anymore. I know you guys really love that sponsor. My apologies to my man Riley White. I know I got rid of it a few years ago, but it had to go. It had to go. I don't even think Kids Colors is a real company anymore. I could be wrong, but it's still the Kids Colors 500 in spirit. Let's put it that way. But now the Truist 500 here to Atlanta should be a good one. 65 laps tomorrow. It's going to be a wild race, and it's anyone's game, no matter where you start. It truly is anybody's game. Jordan Lopez, first guy out in the number 28 machine. And I'd watch out for the number 2 of John Andrews because, you know, the last time he was out on the racetrack with these guys, he went to Victory Lane, mile-and-a-half racetrack at Las Vegas. John Andrews has a lot of experience. He's been racing longer than a lot of these guys in this series, too, so watch out for him. But watch out for Will Parrish as well. I mean, these uncharted guys have been excellent this year. Of course, Ashlyn Boyd won at Auto Club earlier in the season, so a lot can happen in this event with those uncharted guys, and as we have seen so far this season, they have been very strong. They didn't win last week, though. It came close with Dennis Stryker. Matt Dahlia pulled off the race victory. Speaking of pulling off the race victory, here's the defending winner of this Truist 500, Shane Lake, who lapped the field because he was the only one who was able to make it on the fuel. We should not have an issue with that this year. Of course, if we do have an issue with that, it's going to be a natural thing. I think about a 42-lap fuel run for these guys, which is past halfway. Makes it a little bit difficult with a longer race like this with the fuel mileage, and we'll have to see. Hopefully it does not become an issue. Ooh, speaking of issues, that's going to slow Shane Lake down here in qualifying after he just topped the board with a 28.644. But speaking of topping the board, watch out for John Andrews. We'll stop talking about him here. Home team, home race for Full Frontal Motorsports. Ryan Durrani comes into this event 5th in points. Been a great season so far for the sophomore driver, number 68 machine. And the number 16 there of Patrick Smith. There's the Truist machine of Eli Bright, number 33. And to the top of the board, number 83 of Mason Brown, currently with the fastest time here in qualifying. Have a couple of special schemes, and they happen to be going side by side with one another. Of course, Matt, you know, he's popping schemes left and right. This is an Ayrton Senna throwback, I should say. Obviously, if you don't know who Ayrton Senna is, you call yourself a motorsports fan? And Marcus Lemonis giving us some cash. Not really, but number 54 Camping World machine. Hey, this scheme looks really cool. It really pops on the track. Nathan Baird won this race in season number 8. As a matter of fact, the past 2 winners of this event, both on the same team now, are the winners of their respective championships in that season. So the past 2 years, the winner of this race has gone on to win the championship. Not only that, the winner of this race has gone on to win Dover as well that same season. So the past 2 seasons, the champion has won Atlanta and Dover. So this may be a race you want to win. And Nathan Baird knows it too, because he just went to the top of the board in the number 54 Camping World Ford. How about that? I will say, though, that blue and yellow looks really cool. I really like that scheme. If only Marcus Lemonis could actually give us some real money for this stuff, man. I put enough time and effort into it. Brett Sierra. Now Mason Brown just took the pole position back away. Fast time there for the 83 now. I said in uncharted qualifying how the tire wear is going to come into effect, and it will come into effect, but it wasn't fast enough in the uncharted session. It might be fast enough here, though, because we have a longer session for these guys. So these guys definitely going to want to get their fast times in early on here in their first 5 or 6 laps, because after that, the tire wear will, in fact, come into effect. Of course, they get a draft here as well. That also affects. How about Bartow Tuck Team Velocity-Star? Baird and Troxel there, second and third. Didn't even realize Troxel was there in third. Those guys looking really fast this weekend. Watch out for them. Troxel's had a great season so far, knock on wood. Coming in this race 10th in points. Should have a pretty good opportunity. Ooh, can't do that tomorrow, but should have a good opportunity at going to victory lane. So currently, it's Mason Brown, Nathan Baird, Thomas Troxel, Brett Sierra, Eli Bright, Sebastian Kukulon, Ethan Lewis, Nelson Reeves, Jordan Lopez, Christopher Alphaby. Kind of an interesting top 10 there. A lot more sophomore guys, couple of rookies. Daniel McMillan just went to 8th. McMillan was actually a guy who was up front in this race last year. That number 79 machine. And his teammate Matt Dalio won last week. Otter Island Motorsports, as of right now, if the regular season ended today, all 3 of the Otter Island guys would make it into the chase. Matt Dalio on the wild card coming into this because of his race victory. McMillan comes in 9th in points. Turner comes in 6th in points. Samet Ozkin comes to the top of the board in the number 71. And there he is. And the Advanced Auto Parts machine, 2 Advanced Auto Parts machines this weekend. Nathan Stapleton sporting the Advanced Auto Parts scheme this weekend as well. Get all my bad commentary out in qualifying, shall we? And he actually just went to 9th, so great run there for Stapleton. And Stapleton, McMillan, a couple of guys in particular who are definitely looking to break long losing streaks. And this is the kind of race that can definitely favor anyone winning from any position. All the passion that we get here, it's going to play out a lot like a super speedway race, but we will probably see a wreck or two. We saw a huge wreck in this race last year. Good chance we could see it again this year in this Truist 500. 05, Nelson Reeves and Jordan Lopez, Ace Garcia, Christopher Alphaby, Andrew Miller, Cameron Garlington, Alexander Rowe, Owen Miles, Matt Dalio, Brad Stover, Fisher G, Gatlin Downey, Ryan Durrani, Shane Lake, Nathan Smith, Erja Larvin Alonzo, Logan Williams, Ben Young, Jesse Turner, Brandon Nelson, Trey Smith, Nicholas Sambadio, Patrick Smith, Joe Rutkowski, John Andrew, Zachary Fitzwater, Tristan Allen, Keegan Thompson, LJ Semedo, 51 machine. Who drives the 51 in this series? Brock Nelson. I was so close to getting them all. I almost have these guys memorized. Cody Sill and then Will Parrish. The uncharted guys not qualifying well here. Andrews 35th, Parrish 42nd. That is as of right now, but there has been no change inside the top 10, which would lead me to believe that at this point the tires have probably worn out, and we have solidified the times here in Truist 500 qualifying. That may leave Samet Ozkin with the pole in number 71. Of course, Ozkin had a great season last year in his rookie campaign. Hasn't been as good of a run for him this season. His teammate Kukulon's had a good run in the number 13. Kukulon comes into this race third, or should I say second in points. Only 11 points behind Keegan Thompson. We got another new scheme. They brought some new paint out for the number 82 machine of Keegan Thompson. See if I can find him. He's actually on the pit lane. But there you go. And Josh Williamson painted this himself. Pretty nice scheme, I might add. And they definitely, he did a good job with that one. Not to say that the last one was bad, but they put some finishing touches on that one, and now it looks even faster. And Keegan Thompson, points leader. That's been the most consistent guy of the season. Average finishing position of 8.4. He's had a good run so far this season. That team has had a great run. They are a very strong team. Obviously, we say they have a technical alliance with Otter Island Motorsports. They've been doing really good this year. Toyota has been able to kind of focus on their teams this year. They only have 7 full-time guys. You got the Grattan Racing guys, and then, of course, Otter Island and Trinity River Racing. Grattan Racing hasn't had the best of runs. Of course, they did win the Daytona 500 with Fitzwater, but Patrick Smith, Brandon Nelson haven't had the best of runs to begin. Actually, Patrick Smith's 13th in points. He's actually been doing good, but Fitzwater hasn't actually been doing too good. He's 28th in points, and Brandon Nelson 39th coming in to this event. So going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. as the season goes along, but Toyota has definitely seemed to be very strong this season, especially with Otter Island. Of course, Toyota and Otter Island have been together since season number 8, so they have that alliance. They know each other very well. Grattan Racing, a new team, kind of getting used to everything coming into the series. Brandon Nelson as well, a rookie driver, kind of coming. I mean, his brother's been doing good. Brock Nelson currently resides in the 8th position in points, so I don't know, better of the brothers right there. So far been Brock Nelson. We'll have to see how it all goes down as the season continues on. It should be fun tomorrow at noon Eastern time here from Atlanta. Really looking forward to this race. It can really go to anybody, and so many storylines would happen if certain guys won this race, like Stapleton, like Allen, like McMillan, and there's a good chance that some of those guys could end up in victory lane tomorrow. The way this race could play out. I mean, any of these guys could go to victory lane tomorrow. Heck, even John Andrews. Dare I say it, those uncharted guys have a shot, even though they're starting in the back of the field. But like I said at Phoenix, I think these uncharted guys, they're going to have a little bit more competition. And these full-time guys are not going to let them have it easy anymore. They've already taken enough wins away from them. I mean, last year we only had one uncharted guy win. That was Carter Friesen. This year we've already had 2, and we're only 5 races in. So they want that to stop. Sam and Oskin, number 71, going to win the pole for the Truist 500. I do not see any of these times improving within these last 30 seconds, so that's going to be a good starting position for Oskin. Going to start alongside Mason Brown and the Velocitar guys of Nathan Baird and Thomas Troxler, 3rd and 4th. Their teammate, the guy who won this race last year, Shane Lake, all the way down in... where is he? 24th, not too bad, but on the outside lane. Going to be interesting to see what he can do with that. But hey, Marcus Simone's going to get some airtime tomorrow. Maybe give us some money, man. I should tweet him. He responds to his tweets. I should actually legitimately tweet him and say, how much do you want to give us for sponsoring this series? Because hers, Chick-fil-A, Mellow Yellow, Valvoline, they don't actually give us any money. You know how it goes. That'll do it for qualifying. Sam Oskin, number 71, going to lead us to the green flag tomorrow at noon Eastern time here from Atlanta in the Truist 500. He'll start alongside Mason Brown on the front row. Nathan Baird, Thomas Troxel, Brett Sierra, Eli Bright, Sebastian Kukulon, Ethan Lewis, Nathan Stapleton, Daniel McMillan, the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. See if we got any ties. I don't think we have any ties. At least not down there. Got any ties up front? Doesn't look like it. Everyone's got their own separate time. So that is exactly how they will line up for tomorrow's Truist 500. 65 laps of action here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway in race number 6 of the NOFSRL Cup Series, season number 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Sam and Oskin for winning the pole. We'll see you guys at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on AG Racing for the John Deere 300 in the Turkey Hill National Series. And then tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, it is the Truist 500 in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.